Howdy, and welcome back to Hills and Hollers. Today, we're diving into an ancient craft that has stood the test of time, making charcoal at home. Whether you're a homesteader, a backyard blacksmith, or just someone who loves learning traditional skills, making charcoal is a rewarding process that connects us to history while giving us something incredibly useful. Charcoal has been used for centuries, from fueling forges and cooking fires to enriching soil as biochar. And the best part? You can make it right in your own backyard. In this video, we'll explore the process of making charcoal step by step, share some safety tips, and even touch on how this craft ties into Appalachian traditions. So, roll up your sleeves and let's get started. Before we jump into the how, let's take a moment to talk about what charcoal actually is. Charcoal is essentially wood that has been heated in the absence of oxygen. Through this process, known as pyrolysis, water and volatile compounds are burned away, leaving behind almost pure carbon. This carbon burns hotter and cleaner than raw wood, making it perfect for cooking, blacksmithing, and even improving your garden soil as biochar. But why make your own charcoal when you can just buy it at the store? For one, homemade charcoal is free of additives and chemicals. It's pure, natural, and tailored to your needs. Plus, it's a lot cheaper and incredibly satisfying to create something from scratch. It's also a nod to tradition, a reminder of the resourcefulness of those who came before us. For Appalachian homesteaders, making charcoal wasn't just a skill, it was a necessity. Now, we get to revive that skill and make it our own. To get started, you don't need a ton of fancy equipment, just a few basic tools and materials. First and foremost, you'll need wood. Hardwood, like oak, hickory, maple, or cherry works best. Avoid softwoods like pine, as they produce less efficient charcoal and tend to leave behind sticky tar. Whatever wood you choose, make sure it's untreated. No paints, stains, or chemicals. Next, you'll need a container to hold the wood during the pyrolysis process. A 55-gallon metal drum with a lid is ideal, but you can also use a smaller lidded container like an old paint can if you're working on a smaller scale. Your container should have small holes at the bottom for controlled airflow. Finally, you'll need a safe space to work, preferably outdoors in an open area away from anything flammable. Firewood or scrap wood will serve as your heat source, and you'll want some basic safety gear like gloves, tongs, and a fire extinguisher on hand. Now that you've gathered your materials, it's time to prepare your wood. Start by cutting your hardwood into smaller pieces. About 6 to 12 inches long is ideal. The smaller the pieces, the faster and more efficiently they'll turn into charcoal. If your wood is fresh, you'll want to let it air dry for a few weeks to reduce the moisture content. Dry wood makes better charcoal and burns more evenly. As you cut and prep your wood, take a moment to appreciate the process. In the past, this step would often involve the entire family, each person playing a role in gathering and preparing the materials. There's something grounding about handling raw wood and knowing you're about to transform it into something new and useful. With your wood prepped, it's time to set up your barrel or kiln. If you're using a 55-gallon drum, start by drilling small holes, about an inch in diameter, near the bottom of the barrel. These holes allow limited oxygen to flow in, which is essential for controlling the pyrolysis process. Too much oxygen, and your wood will burn completely to ash instead of turning into charcoal. Place a layer of small rocks or bricks at the bottom of the barrel to elevate the wood slightly. This helps with airflow and ensures even heating. Once your barrel is ready, fill it with your cut wood, stacking the pieces tightly, but leaving a little room for air to circulate. If you're using a smaller container like a paint can, drill a few holes in the lid and follow the same process on a smaller scale. Now comes the fun part, building the fire. Place your barrel in a safe, open area, preferably on a bed of rocks or bricks. Surround the barrel with firewood or scrap wood to create an even, steady heat source. Light the fire and let it build up around the barrel. Your goal here is to heat the wood inside the barrel enough to release its gases and moisture without allowing it to catch fire. This stage can take several hours depending on the size of your barrel and the amount of wood inside. You'll notice smoke escaping from the ventilation holes. This is a good sign. It means the pyrolysis process has begun, and the wood inside is transforming into charcoal. Making charcoal requires patience and a watchful eye. As the fire burns around the barrel, keep an eye on the smoke. At first, it will be thick and white, indicating that water and volatile compounds are being released. Over time, the smoke will thin out and turn bluish. This is your signal that the charcoal is nearly done. During this stage, resist the urge to open the lid or add more oxygen. The goal is to limit the air supply, allowing the wood to carbonize without fully combusting. If you notice the fire dying down, you can add more wood to the fire around the barrel, but avoid disturbing the barrel itself. Once the smoke clears and the process is complete, it's time to let the barrel cool down. This step is crucial. If you open the barrel too soon, the fresh charcoal will be exposed to oxygen and could reignite. Let the barrel cool completely, which can take several hours or even overnight. Patience is key here. While it's tempting to take a peek, letting the charcoal cool properly ensures it retains its structure and quality. When you finally open the barrel, you'll be greeted with lightweight, blackened chunks of charcoal, the fruits of your labor. With your charcoal ready, the next step is storage. Transfer the charcoal to an airtight container or heavy-duty bag to keep it dry and protected from moisture. Properly stored, homemade charcoal can last for years, ready to fuel your grill, forge, or garden project whenever you need it. Now that you've made your own charcoal, it's time to put it to use. For cooking, homemade charcoal burns hot and clean, perfect for grilling or smoking meats. For blacksmithing, it provides consistent, high heat that's ideal for forging tools and other projects. And if you're a gardener, crushed charcoal, known as biochar, can be mixed into your soil to improve fertility, retain moisture, and encourage healthy microbial activity. Charcoal isn't just a tool, it's a connection to self-sufficiency. Every time you use it, you're reminded of the effort and care that went into making it. In Appalachia, making charcoal was more than just a skill. It was a way of life. It provided fuel for heat, cooking, and forging, all essential for survival in the mountains. Families would gather around the kilns, sharing stories while they worked. It was hard, dirty work, but it was also deeply fulfilling. By making charcoal at home today, we're carrying on a tradition that spans centuries. We're honoring the resourcefulness of our ancestors while embracing the satisfaction of creating something with our own hands. And that's how you make charcoal at home, from start to finish. It's a process that combines science, art, and tradition, resulting in a product that's as practical as it is meaningful. Whether you're using it for cooking, blacksmithing, or gardening, homemade charcoal is a testament to the power of self-sufficiency. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might want to give charcoal making a try. And if you've got your own tips or stories, drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear them. Thanks for joining me here on Hills and Hollers. Until next time, take care and keep those traditions alive.